Hi there. Thanks for joining me. Today's tech tip from the deck. If you notice, it's so darn nice out that I decided it's time to spend some office time outside. But today's tech tip is about Google Classroom organization. Now, some of this you might find is some introduction stuff. So if you haven't done Google Classroom, hopefully this will help you. But even if you are currently using Google Classroom, you might find a couple of strategies in this quick tech tip session that will help you get your Google Classroom maybe a little bit more organized, or some strategies that will help students navigate within your course. So first of all, let's go into a Google Classroom. So I'm going to just go into my master course. And when you go to Google Classroom, you probably end up on your Google Classes page. So when I'm here, if you notice, I have all of my Google Classrooms listed. Now, one thing you might want to do if you haven't already done this is you might want to rearrange your Google Classes. So I have all of my classes listed here that I've ever done, which is a few, or ones that I've got active, I guess. If my classes are not listed in an order that is kind of the way I want to see them, and when I say that, I mean, when I pull down my menu, I don't want to have to see classes that I'm not currently using. I want to see the classes I refer to every day. So the first class I always want to see in my list is my master course. And my master course, let me explain that for just a second. I created a 2020 distance history master course, and this is where I do all the creating for my history classes. So I put everything here. First, the only student I have in here is my fake student. I'm a student, and then and I'll tell you about I'm a little bit later. But I'm a student is just a student that it's a fake student that I put into my course so that I can log in as her and see how the class looks. But I put everything here first, and then I do all my creation, and then I can copy it into my other classes. It's just this is my creation class. And then after that, I have my classes listed by order. So when I pull down my drop menu, I can easily find them. I don't have other classes that I have to scroll through. So to do a move around, I just grab the class I want to move, and I just slide it up into the order. And then whatever order is on here is the order that it will appear on my drop-down menu. It's way easier to find my classes. So if you haven't done this, this is something I would do right away. Just reorganize your courses. Now, when you're in this master, or in your Google Classroom list, if you see the three dots here, some of the organizational tools you have here, you can edit it if you need to rename it. Next year, if I want to reuse one of these classes, I can just copy the entire course. And then every assignment that's in this course will be relisted, but it will be put into draft mode. So I can copy it, or I can post it when I'm ready to. And then the archive option just kind of takes my class and it hides everything so I don't have to see it, kind of puts it into storage, but doesn't completely delete it. So that, again, is just organizing of my class tools. Then we'll go into this first class. Now, the first thing you see when you log into Google Classroom, and the same thing, the first thing students always see is your stream. Stream is meant to be kind of like a major announcement page. I think the way it was set up before, it kind of seemed like this was where you put assignments, and then they changed things up, and people didn't always realize that maybe Stream should be your announcement page and classwork should be where you put your assignments. If you're not doing it that way, that's okay. You can put your assignments here, but I would seriously consider moving your assignments to classwork, because in Stream, everything is just listed in one big long stream. It's hard for students to find things, and it's kind of a lot of scrolling sometimes to find what they want. In my stream, I just put my weekly announcements, and then I put any other special announcements I want to have for the week. So if there's something, attention, make sure you do this, or don't forget we don't have school Friday. Whatever it is, I put that in my announcements. It's the first thing the students see each time they log into Google Classroom. Now, some of you may have all of your assignments automatically popping up here, and you probably do if you haven't shut that off. So let me show you how to shut that off, just to kind of, again, make less busyness in this stream. So if you go up to your gear in the top right corner, we're going to tap our gear, go into settings, and then in settings, I'm going to go down, oops, a little bit too far there. I'm going to go down to general to see what I see in stream. The first thing is under stream. If you notice that with this here, you can pull down that only teachers can post or comment. I would for sure check this box. Unless you want students to make comments, and I guarantee they will use this as their personal chat area. I would check this and say only teachers can post or comment. Then you can use your stream just for class announcements. The other thing I think is a really good idea is this right here. And this is classwork on the stream, which basically means your assignments. And I would take and mark the hide notifications. So right now, you probably have it checked as show attachments and details or show condensed notifications. I think it defaults to show condensed notifications. Basically, that means every time you put a new assignment into classwork, it's going to show up here. And that can be okay if you want your stuff to show up there, but it really gets kind of confusing. Once I took this off, the students were very grateful that I did. It just makes a lot less busyness in your stream. So again, I hide notifications and I have it so that only I can post or comment. You want to hit save when you do that. Then if we go back in, and the other thing you're going to need to do if you're just changing that for the first time, make sure you have an announcement here that says to find your classwork, go to classwork, or to find your assignments, open up classwork. Because if they haven't been doing that because your assignments are just showing up in stream, they might wonder where they are. So then when we go into classwork, this is where you want to list your assignments. Another thing I would say is a really good idea here is to have topics, to use topics. Don't just list all of your assignments. Use the feature that they've given us, and that is to be able to create topics. In my normal courses, I created topics as units, and maybe a topic would be 3 weeks long or something, but now each week I create a new topic. So my topic is, I still have the unit name, and then I also put the date on here so people can see what week we're doing this. And then when I put assignments in, each assignment goes into the correct topic. The other thing, and I did talk about this last week, that is really good to do when you're setting things up in a Google Classroom is to use numbers to name your assignments. If you use a number here, a number system, and then use that same number system in Canvas, it's going to save you a lot of questions from parents and from students, and heck, even probably from yourself. I know before I started doing this, I would have to go back and do a little more searching than I wanted to sometimes to remember which assignment was which. So this, I guarantee you, if you start numbering your assignments, it's going to save you a big headache. And then topics. The other thing that I think is a good idea for students is when you're putting topics here, I always have my topic that stays at the top, and that's important stuff for the whole quarter. And here's where I put my daily attendance so they can find it easily. If I have a main resource that I want them to use, I could link that here too and just keep it at the top. Maybe it's a link to a website you use all the time or to a textbook or something. You could put that under the important stuff for the whole quarter, and that would always stay your very top topic. And then I go down, and my next topic is the topic of the week. I don't keep listing topics on the bottom as I go because I think sometimes that's hard. Students start scrolling and it seems to take forever to scroll and they just want to give up. So the first thing you see when you go into classwork, important stuff for the whole quarter, and then our current unit. And then I just, like I said, I list assignments by name, by number, when they're going to be graded, and go in the gradebook what the number is. Then one more thing I want to show you in classwork. When you are creating an assignment, we did talk a little bit about due dates. If you watched my other video, I talked about due dates. But something I didn't talk about was when you assign something, you can, if you choose, when you pull down assign, you don't have to assign it right away. You can schedule it or you can save a draft. So when I create assignments, and like I said, I create them all in my master course, what I do is I create them and I save them as a draft. And then the day that I want them turned on, I just go in and edit them. I can also schedule if I want for them to start at a certain day, but it doesn't let you schedule an assignment if it's going to be in several courses. So if I have my master courses for 4 classes, it won't allow me to schedule it for each class, but I can save the draft. And then when I assign it, Like I said, remember because I put those classes in order on my original page, I can just check each class and it will assign it as soon as I'm ready. I can even check them right away and still leave it in the, oops, I should be able to, well, there's no assignment yet. It would let me save it as a draft. So then when I was ready tomorrow, I could go ahead and make this ready to go. Again, you can pick your points. I would strongly suggest putting a due date on these so it shows up in the student's to-do list. Your topics are a good thing. Create your topics. And then with due dates, I would also set a due date time just so it's not dinging them at midnight. So hopefully those are just some quick organizational things for you, even if you are new or a regular Google Classroom user. Hopefully you will find something in here that helps you with Google Classroom, and have a beautiful day.